Peace be unto you. Good morning or good afternoon. Praise be to God, the guardian evolver, sustainer, and cherisher of all systems of knowledge. We thank the Creator. We are appreciative to the Creator. We have a gratefulness in our spirit and our heart for this lovely earth that allows for us to understand that all in the earth is here for our benefit, to sustain our life. And all in the sky gives us the intelligence of the mastery of the Creator that has blessed us to understand that is called AI. And you know what AI is, right? It's African intelligence. So this will give you a hint on Words Make People. We're here. We're back again on Words Make People with our brother here, Brother Tony. We're going to get right into it because there's so much to cover. So much to cover, but we want to cover the important factors of life, and that is, let us continue to pray for those in the Sudan. Those in the Sudan are going through what we understand worse than what they went through and what they're going through in Gaza, better known as Philistine, not Palestine, but Philistine. So there's all those around the world that's anticipating going through a traumatic experience based on what the administration is implementing here in the United States of America and around the world with tariffs and relations with other head leaders throughout the world. So we look forward to sharing with you today how we can go about assisting ourselves and making sure that we're prepared for this diabolical aspect of a scheme that's going on that can hurt many families. And we're saying to you, stock up on some rice, stock up on some water, stock up on some honey, and stock up on tissue. You know, during the pandemic, ran out of tissue. You couldn't find no tissue. And so you may have to use leaves outside, but you're not going to use no leaves because we don't understand our ancestry, our relatives from the past, how they got through what they had to go through. And so we're about to go through a situation, and we have been going through a situation, so let's prepare ourselves. So Brother Tony is here with us today, and he's here to share with us on how he's working for sure, what I believe is number one, because of the 13th Amendment, but because of number one, because it's so much needed to me, more than anything else, because I believe it's essential and necessary. And this is what they've been going through, this scheme, this diabolical getting rid of the male, the African-American male, the African-American man, 13th Amendment, divide and conquer. We say freedom, but it's divide and conquer. Keep him in jail, keep the woman out here, keep her on Section 8 social service, the courts, the judges, is her husband, is her man. And so we have Brother Tony here with us today on what I believe he's going to share with us, which is very, very significant, and I hope you would appreciate it and get involved in what he's doing with the brothers on Saturdays.
Yes, sir.
Tony, take it away, brother.
How you doing, brother?
Good, man. Good.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. Here, just representing Brothers United. It's a group that we started, I want to say back in late February, early March was our first gathering, March 1st, I believe. The group was kind of born out of my own personal challenges in terms of, who am I?
Yes.
I know most of the time there's this perception of who I am, and what I do, and it's, it's part of who I am, but the man that I am was what was needed. That became Brothers United.
Excellent.
It was born out of my struggle in terms of the work I do, which is on behalf of my community, but more related into, the economics and the commerce. What I found was that while you're out here pouring into everyone else, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Sure.
And my cup was empty.
Okay.
Brothers United became a place for me and for other brothers who, have joined us since March. We're now, hard to believe we're into October, and we're still growing and gathering. But really it was about dealing with our role in our community. To your point earlier about how this infrastructure that we call this country, how it's designed in many ways to kind of separate us from our women and from our families and thus from our community and our rightful leadership role in our community, in our homes. And I feel in many ways, we've kind of abdicated our throne, if you will.
You on point.
And our responsibility to our women. Many of the men that come to Brothers United are products of single-parent homes. Not all, but many.
Too many.
And what that just shows us is that for generations and decades, because the group is so wide-ranging, it's black men, it's Latino, it's Asian, white, there's these common threads.
That's right.
That
That
show
human,
that human, exactly.
That's right, that human.
But what we've learned is that we place too much of a burden and responsibility on the women in our community, and I feel like a woman can raise a boy, but she can't teach a boy to be a man.
Yes,
and
that's
so
right.
many of our men come into this adulthood space more male than men, and I had to own my own damage.
You're absolutely correct.
And brokenness in terms of, the what you see from me is not in totality.
Absolutely.
And so Brothers United was a safe space to come in where you take off the mask.
Yes.
Put down the facade, leave your ego at the door and come in and be vulnerable, talk about who you are as opposed to what you do.
Excellent.
And in this world out here, we're defined by what we do. So we kind of buy into a system as men. We have to get out here and hunt, gather, and a lot of us are just kind of performing. We put on our mask and our armor to go out into this world, and then we come home and we're automatically expected to just remove it. But then you got to put it on the next day.
Yeah, absolutely. You on point.
So that damage is reflected, I think, in terms of our relationships first and foremost with the women in our community.
Yes.
We place too much of a burden on to raise us to be men, and they become maternal. They become our counselors, and as opposed to just being our women.
Absolutely, yeah, excellent. This is something that's very much needed. Number one for me.
Absolutely.
Because I've always looked at the 13th Amendment, and it quotes, involuntary servitude or slavery should not exist, except if you are sentenced and convicted of a crime. So you're free, but if you go to jail, you're enslaved.
Right.
You go to jail, you're no longer free.
You're not your own man anymore.
That's right, and you're going to be building, and then in this world,
cheap labor,
for sure. And then, as you just stated so clearly, which is so much needed, who's raising your child?
Yeah.
You leave it to TikTok and Instagram, social media right now.
And you see the damage does.
You leave it to the woman. She has a responsibility and an obligation. She's raising the child while the child is in the womb. She's talking to the child.
She's done 9
months. And then when it comes out, that's right. Then when
Right.
it comes out, she's there to do all that obligation and responsibility.
But
Because
where
we say,
are we?
yeah, a man is a maintainer, a protector, and provider. He can't maintain, protect, and provide if he's in jail.
Right, or if he's just out on the streets.
On the streets,
doing
that's
nothing.
right. That's right.
Not protecting the home base,
Sure.
not providing, not gathering, not leading.
And this is the way the system has been planned, because right now in the government they're fighting for voting rights. Something that leaders, Martin Luther King and all the rest, fought for, died for. And so here now, what do you think is going to happen if that's squashed? If that don't exist no more?
Yeah.
Who's going to be in office dictating to the laws and the Constitution, and so forth and so on?
Right.
So, there's a proper way to fight.
Absolutely.
And I do know the proper way to fight is to love death the way others love life. You have to be able to die for something, because if you don't, I just need to let you know you're not going to put your knee on my neck.
Right.
Squash that,
Yeah.
especially if I know I'm right. And so, as you just stated, having these meetings on a regular basis is so important. And I'm quite sure you're asking today. I'm not going to wait till the end to start asking for more brothers to get involved,
Absolutely.
get your information.
Absolutely.
Because this is essential and necessary. Those that have been to prison and just came out, we don't want you to be recidivists. We don't want you going back.
Right.
We don't want you going to the cemetery. You have so much experience that you gained while you were incarcerated.
And many of the brothers that join us at Brothers United are formerly incarcerated, are dealing with alcohol, substance. So just to find that space where you come in and you're not judged by the journey.
That's right.
See, a lot of times the journey comes with judgment.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And it's very unfortunate.
But be assured that that journey is with an individual that has significant knowledge, that having significant intelligence, that can share how to not make the mistakes that they might have made.
Right.
Because many are in jail because they didn't really do anything.
Right.
And then there were those that were striving to do whatever they could possibly do, and they would wind up incarcerated.
And then when you create situations where people are left with these choices that are just based on survival,
Yeah, right.
and you're limiting options, resources,
That's right. That's right. That's the
opportunities,
key. That's right.
you kind of put
Put a person in a diabolical place.
Put them in a corner. That person has no choice,
Yeah.
so to speak, but to
That's
come
right.
out. You got to
That's
get
right.
out the corner.
Sure. And like a person that goes and steals in the store, if they don't have no food, they're not a criminal.
Right.
They're hungry.
Right. Right. So what are we doing to address
That's
the
right.
socioeconomic components that lead to?
Sure.
So you can treat
Yeah.
treat it on this end, which is reactive.
Yes.
Where Brothers United and the message we're trying to get out is like, and others, is what are we doing to be proactive as
Yes.
men?
That's right. And I can appreciate, this is words make people. So,
Yeah.
so in the word united
Yeah,
is the word you knit.
that's right.
You knit it. In the word knit is the word it. So we have to knit this process of understanding
Yeah.
what happened, how it went down. Now we have a clear vision. And we have to have clarity of vision so we can be strategic in our methodology
Yeah.
to teach the new generation that's coming up not to
Absolutely.
fall victim to this diabolical scheme that's
Right,
out here,
right.
to prevent them from making the same mistakes that we made coming up in life.
Yeah.
So they can be clearer in their vision, so they can have a purpose and a goal
Mm-hmm.
that they want to accomplish without the interference that we had,
Right.
regardless whatever the current administration is going to do.
We still have to be responsible.
That's right.
There are a number of reasons where you can say, well, the administration and a lot of things that are being implemented,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, there's still a sense of personal ownership
Absolutely.
and responsibility and
Absolutely.
accountability to self,
Yeah.
and then let that ripple out.
Yeah.
And to your point about words make people.
Yeah. Well, when you said earlier, you said that brothers united, let's not get it mixed up. Brothers, human
Yeah,
brothers.
yeah.
Whether you Caucasian, whether you African American,
Right,
whether you
right.
African, whether you wherever country you
Yeah.
from or whatever, brothers.
Right.
We got to look at each other as entities
Yeah.
that can help and assist
Yeah.
in our developing what's necessary for us to accomplish.
Right. That's why we didn't necessarily want to spell it a certain way
That's
to
right,
kind of
that's
limit
right.
who could walk in, because
Right.
these are friends of mine
It's
that
open,
come from the
that's
work I
right.
do in life in general.
That's
we
right.
want everybody to feel like, you know what, this is a place, no matter who I am or whatever,
Yes.
culture, ethnicity, religion, this is a place
That's right.
where every other Saturday,
Yeah.
I know no matter how that period of time went in between that,
Yes.
because we all go through this
Sure.
peaks and valleys,
Sure, we were taught that.
but how many of us actually acknowledge it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And have a place where it's meant to be acknowledged. That's
Sure.
why we're very intentional with the words we use.
That's right.
We don't call it a meeting, we call it a gathering.
Excellent.
We don't say networking, we say connecting, because those are the things we want
Yeah.
to keep the human element
Words,
to it.
that's right.
Otherwise, it becomes a business
Sure.
networking event.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then now you're off center because it's not meant to be a chamber
Mm-hmm.
event. Now, don't get me wrong, over the course of the time we've been gathering, what's happened is that because the walls are coming down
Mm-hmm.
and bonds are being formed, people are organically connecting.
Yes.
They are starting to do business with each other.
Good.
As opposed to the other way around.
That's right, that's
where you
right.
say, I'm here just to make money.
Yeah.
And everything and every person I see is an opportunity. Well, what's in it for me? Oh, okay, on to the next.
Yeah. Excellent point you're making.
So it's
because
really about the humanity of
That's
it,
right. There
the
you
building
go.
of
That's
relationships.
right. Human
And
essence.
and there you go.
and through that human excellence, you're going to have excellent.
Right.
And
And
as
you
you
want to
just
help
stated-
each other
Yes.
as opposed to charge each other
Yeah.
for help.
That's right.
And
Absolutely.
there's a difference.
Yeah. For the sake of just money, or
Yeah, so
for authority or
exactly,
greed or
exactly.
notoriety and stuff like that.
So it's
you
more
know?
about community
Yes.
than it is commerce.
Beautiful.
And the word currency is a word I'm really starting to gravitate more to, because currency has many definitions.
Yes.
Currency is obviously money, but currency is also energy.
Yeah.
And energy should flow.
That's right.
And if it
Absolutely.
flows in a way that's proper, authentic,
Yeah.
with integrity,
Yeah.
but then the other forms of currency
Oh, yeah.
can flow.
That's right.
But we get caught up in this, in that first space
Sure. That's right.
is our energy
Yeah.
aligned? Is our energy within ourselves
Sure.
proper? You know, that's something that I had to really look at and go, you know what? You know,
Sure.
am I right?
Right. Well, it's good that you're there to help define these terms that many people have heard, but didn't get the extensive definition of the word,
Right.
as you just did just now, in
It's
reference to the word currency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So currency, when we say people looking at currency, they're looking at money. That's the way we understand the definition of currency. You know, looking at money, whether it's in the stock market or business or cash, whatever it is. First thing comes to your mind is money.
Yeah.
You see? And so I know you have a clarity for us to have on the definition of currency, which is important that we should look at rather than just myopic and
Right.
looking at it as just money.
Right.
What would that
Currency is
contribution
also
be?
currency is also energy, and the proper flow of energy can often, if not always, dictate the flow of the currency that we're most kind of
Yes.
keeping top of mind. It's really about having a mentality of being of service. How can I help you when, you know, understanding that if I'm flowing properly, things will flow properly, as opposed to the other way around. Like we talked about earlier about getting to the bag.
Sure.
But the bag is really getting to you. Well, how many times is that because you're not properly aligned and your currency is off and your energy is off? And, you know, again, speaking from my own journey,
Yes.
I can almost think back and pinpoint, you know, times where it's like, I wasn't really
Sure.
going about it the right way because my energy wasn't right. My intention
That's
wasn't
right.
right. So
And your
currency-
therefore your currency won't be
therefore
right.
my currency won't be right. It's really simple.
Because of that energy is not
Yes, sir.
flowing properly
Yes, sir.
from here.
From here.
And to
From
get to
here,
here. Right.
From
That's
here,
right.
from here to here to here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think, you know, in my own practice now, is just, you know, doing as best as I can.
Sure.
I'm not always, you know, 100% perfect with it. You know, that's the journey in and of itself. But am I being more disciplined about it?
Absolutely, and that's key to have that discipline, because if you don't have that discipline, then that energy that's coming from the mindset can cause for you to have heart attack, cause you to have sugar diabetes,
health.
cause you to have all kind of ailments.
High blood pressure. That's
High
something
blood
I had
pressure.
to
That's
address
right.
a few months
You
ago.
better believe it,
Yeah.
because it's coming. Everything is coming from that mindset, that energy to your heart.
Yes.
That's causing for you to not be able to live properly because you're maybe skipping a beat, and that'll cause other ailments in your system.
Yes.
And so you have to have the right diet.
That's something
And
else
if you
I
don't,
had to address.
and if you don't have that right diet,
Water intake also is important too.
I tell people, listen. Every doctor that I went to already so far, I let them know, ask them, what's the best diet? And you know, they tell me certain things, and then I tell them the best diet is fasting.
Yeah.
Now, how do we know that? Because from the time you go to sleep at night until you wake up, you fasted for either 8 hours or 7 hours or whatever many hours it is.
Right.
But then you begin to stock up with food in the morning, lunch in the afternoon, you pile up,
Right.
and then dinner, you
Then
pile
dinner.
up. Opposed to maybe one meal a day, you
Right.
stacking up on all three.
Right.
That's what causes for you to have these ailments and this sickness and
Right.
all the things that's going into your system that you can select.
Because we've been programmed that
Programmed.
you gotta eat 3 times a day.
Three
Who
times a
says
day.
who?
Yeah, there you
What
go.
if you're not hungry 3 times a day?
That's right.
What's
and that
that?
energy is to go
Right.
get that breakfast,
Right.
stack up on those,
Breakfast is
whatever
the most
it may
important
be.
meal of the day. And that, you know, so I've even had this like wake up and don't eat until noon. And if I eat again later on, so be it. But I'm
Yeah.
not like I gotta get up and have something. If I
That's
do have
right.
something, it's a banana.
Yeah.
It's something that's a little bit more
you
nutritious
go.
than what I
There
normally
you
gotta
go.
go have eggs, bacon, toast, and all
That's
that.
right. All 3 full meals.
Yeah,
What,
yeah.
what can you expect? And when we look in our community,
That's
we
what we see.
That's what we see. So we
That's what we
recognize that,
see.
as you stated, that programming came and is still with us because we're not allowing for us to be able to handle what we've been programmed to do, and we keep on doing that, and it's going to allow for us to die sooner, not be able to be healthier,
Right.
and not have the appropriate energy to be able to coordinate and strategically plan to have a clearer vision, because I'm finding myself in the hospital all the
Right,
time. I'm finding
right.
myself over here and arguing with someone that I'm overweight or whatever it may be, and I'm just, going through situations that's not really healthy.
And even if you eat 3 times a day, what are you eating 3
What
times
are you
a day?
eating?
You
That's
can have a banana, that's eating once, and then maybe at lunch have something,
Yeah,
whatever.
that's right.
So you've had 3 meals.
Yeah.
But it's not like these feasts.
Not that these feasts, that's right.
where you gotta
And
have.
you got to be careful.
You know,
That's right.
Yeah.
Because
So.
we in our classes, we let people know the richest man ever on earth was Mansa Musa. And Mansa Musa was the richest human ever that existed up until this very day. And he was rich because he had 2 resources. 1, gold, and 2, salt. And all the canned goods in all the stores got salt in it. And so it's a preservative.
Yeah, it's a preserve. Yeah.
And that preservative helps keep you ill or sick if you're compiling that within your system here, and you go to the doctor and he put that what's name on you,
Yeah.
and you know,
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
high blood pressure.
My doctor
How you
was
gonna get
like,
it down now?
You got to change your whole lifestyle.
Pharmaceutical.
Well, that's their
Or
plan.
over the counter.
Let me write you a prescription.
Yeah.
Now you're feeding into that system.
And one after another, opposed to doing the natural that we know we should do, but then there's something that's blocking us. And so we share with our students in our class, we talk about follow your gut. Because if you don't follow your gut, spell gut backwards, it's T-U-G. You tug with your gut. I gotta have that.
Right.
It smells good. No, give me 2 of them.
Right.
I don't even eat one of them,
Yeah.
but give me 2 of those burgers. You know what I mean?
You want some more? And instead of saying, no, I'm good, you're like, well, that was great. Yes, I want more. We're conditioned to say, no, I'm not conditioned to say I've had enough, thank you.
That's right.
But it's like, it was so good.
And that first one was a portion.
Right.
It wasn't a portion, it was a pile up.
Right.
And we learned that in prison. Right. In prison, you can stack up on everything. You can get 6 pieces of bread. You can stack your whole plate with rice, but you only get 1 portion of the meat. Whether it's chicken, beef, or pork, it's only 1 portion of that. You can't get seconds on that. But you can get all the bread and and you don't want no vegetables. You can get as much as you want that as well too.
Right.
But the main thing you want to get is that hamburger or that frankfurter or that chicken or that beef or bread, whatever. You're going to get one of that. And so you stock up all that rice, that starch, all that bread.
Yeah. And where does that go?
And you're going to find yourself out there in the yard pumping iron to get all that off of you. You know what I mean? Because otherwise you know you're going to be had. So I concur and agree with you that, you know, we have to recognize words and the currency and recognize the energy that ourself that we can benefit from if we take heed to what's necessary to allow for us to be more psychologically healthy and more physically healthy.
Right.
Because if we don't, we're going to have issues and concerns, and our children are going to be following us, and we can see our children out here today. They're obese and overweight and all that other kind of stuff. You know, so it's something that we really have to look at. So I'm just glad, and I'm really, really excited because this has been my passion just about my whole life. It's about help educating our men, our boys.
Yeah.
It's imperative. It's essential. It's necessary.
And it's so upon us to do it.
Absolutely.
And stop essentially forcing the women in our community to do something else.
Yes.
Because they're already doing way
everything.
Too much.
That's right. Entirely.
You know, not to mention some women are now, you know, they have careers as well. So you got to acknowledge that.
Yes.
And not continue to take from women who are just as good, if not better, at what they do than you are at what you do.
That's right.
And appreciate that. Like you mentioned earlier, the legislation that was passed early in the Obama administration. You know,
the first law Obama passed was equal pay for equal work for women.
Absolutely.
Why? Because in all the businesses in the United States of America, the highest paid person was a European male. And then next was the European woman. And next was the African American woman. And at last was the African American male.
Right.
So when you recognize that, you can say, well, Obama didn't do anything. Well, I think he did 2 significant things. And the other thing he did was Obamacare, health care. Don't tell me we don't need health care more than anything else.
Well, you see, even what's going on in our current times with this current shutdown is, you know, what one side is really adamant about standing firm on is having to do with health care. Because if you're not healthy, you can't be wealthy.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
If you're not healthy, you can't.
You won't have the energy.
Right.
You can't get exercise. And as you just stated a few minutes ago, you know, many of us don't walk and just do exercises. We do it maybe because we have to do it because of, you know, but now are we doing it because health is more important to us than anything else? So we can be here to see our children graduate from school. Elementary, junior high, high school, college, and watch them and see how they flourish, and I can help light their torch. I'm not giving them my torch.
Right.
I ain't giving nobody my torch. I'm gonna help light your torch.
Yeah. Teach
and
you how to
be a-
light
There you go.
torches.
That's right. Absolutely.
You know?
So I'm just so excited about Brothers United because, as we mentioned before, in the word united is the word you knit it. And we're seeing the brothers that can really knit this here because during our time of coming up in our ancestry, the grandma, she said hum and sing and knit and you know, and she was knitting a strategy and a strategic method of how to go about coming out of this situation that they had us in. And so I'm just excited that we have this opportunity now every other week. There you have it. And we're looking forward to you coming back with a couple of brothers.
I would like that
so we can
much.
share this information
Yeah.
and let them speak on, you know, their perspective of how we're working and what we're doing, so forth and so on. You know,
absolutely.
I think it's going to work good, and I think it's going to be on the 19th.
19th,
You
November
mentioned
19th.
the 19th of
Yes,
November.
Sir. Yes, sir.
So we want the audience to look forward to that.
Yes.
And recognize that our brother here today, Brother Tony, had put this together back in February.
Myself and Tyrone Bourne Alexander and Eddie Robinson Life. Those are the three of us who sat down one day, and what started off as a meeting about business became a conversation about brothers who hadn't seen each other in decades.
Excellent.
Started talking about, well, what if three brothers that started off talking like this, how many more brothers are there that need this type of conversation in their lives? And it turns out,
when I came to the meeting myself, brothers were sharing their experiences.
Yeah.
And everyone needs to share their experiences so we can get to know each other. Ain't too much difference.
Nah, not at all. We have more in common.
We're at different place, at different time, but our experiences are the experiences we need to share with one another, and we can't hold these things that's going on. So, Brother Tony, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our audience, we really appreciate you. Thank you very much for tuning in today. This is Brother Gaddy on Words Made People, and our Brother Tony with Brothers United. Look forward to seeing this show. May God's peace and blessings be upon you. Assalamu alaikum. Stay sharp, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay out the way.